If you have a high water bill, it's probably, and there's no reason other than if you have teenage daughters that wash their hair for a long time, it's probably because their toilets are leaking. It's very hard to detect this leakage because it's very subtle, slow. This tank has actually a valve in the bottom that holds the water in, and when this valve leaks, it lets the water out slowly, and thus gives you a high water bill. So the way to test for this is these toilet dye strips. And if you notice, this toilet, the water line is supposed to be about, I think, a half an inch or 3/4 below the top of this. This is called the fill tube, and it appears that this toilet is not adjusted properly because of the water is right at the edge of the fill tube, and it actually could, and maybe is, leaking through. We're just going to, I don't know if you can see down the bottom, really the color is kind of sitting on the bottom there, all just in one spot and not getting mixed up. So just to speed the process up a little bit, we're going to mix the water up. So if this toilet is leaking, you're going to start to see little blue streaks coming down that back wall of that bowl. Now you can see the blue accumulating. It's subtle. So that's what it does. If your flush valve is leaking, and it can be just we sped this up a little bit, but wait about 20 minutes, and if it's leaking, it'll show up. And if it is, you need to replace. In this case, it's a flapper. There's different flush systems. And while we're in here, let's adjust this water line down to more like where it should be. And sometimes there's a mark on the tank, sometimes it's on this fill tube, which it's not. So this thing just twists, I guess. Okay. I need to lengthen this a little bit. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this than what I'm doing here. So as we do this, you'll really see that we're just going to, I'm going to partially flush it so I can make this adjustment on this thing. Much better. It's about, I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch below the top of this where it should be. Okay, well, I'm going to pull these dye strips out just so they don't get into mischief if they got into the flush valve mechanism, so to speak. Test it totally one time. Make sure the flapper is seating properly. There it is. So what this is for is to, when the toilet flushes and the siphon action takes place, it always leaves the bowl a little low in water. So this is to fill that up. That actually goes down into the bowl, fills up so the trap depth is deep, and that trap is what keeps the sewer gas out of the house from the sanitary system in the house. Traps, that's what they're for, keeping the gas out.